It's happening again, people, and it's not looking good if the Bills do not fix this major problem. Because come playoff time, when it's one and done, it might come back to bite the Bills and really screw them over. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bills Digest. I'm your host, Anthony Senicar, and we all love LeBlat, and we all love the Buffalo Bills, and we all love smashing some tables come Sunday. In the same way we all smash those tables on Sunday, I want you guys to smash that like and subscribe button and subscribe to Bills Digest for all the latest Bills news so we can all keep in touch and keep talking the Buffalo Bills. Well, people, the Bills did beat the San Francisco 49ers, and they did win the AFC East, and they are five-time AFC East champions. But we have a problem that I want to talk about because as much as this win was big and everybody's happy, there are some major problems that have been bothering me the whole season, and I just got to let it all out and let you guys know what I'm talking about. And that issue is Bobby Babich, Sean McDermott, their defenses, and stopping the run. It is embarrassing, these numbers, and I'm going to break it down for you guys all right here. We'll look over the general stats of running backs as they go up against the Bills defense. Then we'll kind of get into the nitty-gritty. And right here, as you can see, the Bills' defensive stats versus running backs, they are ranked 27th in the league. That's, again, 27th in the league. The Bills' history against running backs has not been good, but I feel like this year it's been even worse. Rushing, the Bills are giving up an average of 101.5 yards per game against running backs, with an average of 4.76 yards per carry. And then receiving, which is very concerning for me, which is 7.75 targets per game, with an average of 47.42 yards per running back per game, with almost an 8 yards per catch. That is concerning, people. The Bills have a problem. Bobby Babich has a problem. Sean McDermott has a problem. They have to shore up this defense, make sure they can stop the run, because come wintertime, come these big bad weather games against these strong physical offenses in the AFC who have a strong run game, we are going to get manhandled. Obviously, Matt Milano came back. The Bills went with a nickel defense, even with Milano back. I was shouting last week that I would love to see a base defense against these run-heavy teams. And again, no use of it. Stayed in the nickel, which obviously Taron Johnson's one of the better nickel corners in the league, but he is not Dorian Williams. We need to see more snaps from Dorian Williams in a base defense, or else we are going to get destroyed in the run game. We are struggling against these smaller receiving backs as well. Let's kind of get into the nitty-gritty of this and kind of look at the Bills' defense against the running backs. I kind of put some stats together for you guys to take a look at. Obviously, we had the big Derrick Henry game where he had almost 200 yards rushing. But again, Devon Achane, who the Bills have played twice, has had a field day against the Bills. Even looking at the receiving yards with Achane, he had 58 and 69. Look at Breece Hall, who had 100 yards rushing, as well as 56 yards receiving. Jonathan Taylor had another 100 rushing game. Jordan Mason, who came into the game once McCaffrey went down, at 78 yards rushing. Christian McCaffrey, who played about a quarter and a half of the game, by the time he was out of the game, had 53 rushing yards on 7 attempts, good for 7.6 average, and as well as he had 2 receptions for 14 yards. And again, look at Tony Pollard, who had 61 for 16. Kareem Hunt, who went 14 for 60. Travis Etienne, who went 11 for 68. That was early in the season, but again, still, he was good for 4 receptions for 17 yards. And then I left these guys both in here. Justice Hill, who had 6 for 78. 6 for 78. And then the guy in Houston, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to attempt it because I don't want to butcher it. But he went 5 for 57. The Bills have a run game problem. They have a receiving back problem. And a lot of these teams in the AFC, if they do not shore up this defense, either Babbage, you got to try this base 4-3, get more use out of it, and you just got to take advantage of having three good linebackers who are playing really good football. Obviously, Dorn's progressed very well over the season. Terrell Bernard's one of the best linebackers in the league. And then Matt Milano obviously still coming back. But again, he already looked like he was getting pretty well up to game speed against the San Francisco 49ers. And they got to shore it up. They got to figure this out because just looking at the AFC playoff picture in itself, there are a lot of good teams with a lot of good running backs. The NFL is moving into a very running back and running heavy offense. With the extreme of the passing game the last few years, teams are figuring out with these two shell high safeties, with having the two safeties up there, that you're going to need to have more of a run game, more of these physical, strong teams. And again, just looking at this AFC playoff picture, we go up against Kansas City. They have Kareem Hunt and they have Pacheco, which again, two good running backs. Pittsburgh obviously has Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren. Big physical team, will run all over you. Houston, the Bills did play Houston earlier in the season. They did not have Joe Mixon, but I think you play Houston with Joe Mixon, you're going to have a problem. San Diego with Jim Harbaugh, loves to run the ball, suck the life out of the game. You obviously are going to have J.K. Dobbins. That is another run-heavy team. Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry ran over Buffalo. That was a big problem. Denver Broncos, you obviously have Javonte Williams and Sean Payton. Sean Payton is infamous for running the ball. The Indianapolis Colts with Jonathan Taylor, who ran over the Buffalo Bills as well. You look at the Miami Dolphins with Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert, Mike McDaniels coming from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, loves to run the ball, loves to get those inside and outside zones going. And then obviously the Cincinnati Bengals with Chase Brown and Zach Moss, also enjoy running the ball. So looking at all of these teams, they have a good run game, and if the Bills do not figure this problem out, they are going to be either one and done or they are going to have headaches all playoffs. So I think, Babbage, you got to sort this out. Sean McDermott, you guys got to do some self-scouting, figure this out, either run some more base defense with Dorian Williams and Matt Milano, or you just got to get maybe bring in another big physical body out of free agency just to get something to shore up this run game, get those linebackers and those corners swarming on those receiving backs, because it's been an issue all season and it's going to keep being an issue. It was very noticeable against San Francisco, even with McCaffrey down. Jordan Mason had a game, and again, you can run up the scoring against these teams. But again, as you saw in the Ravens game, if a team runs up the score and starts running the ball down Buffalo, and you have a day where Josh and the offense struggles, there's no coming back. Again, as always, like and subscribe, guys. Hopefully the Bills figure out this issue. And as always, go Bills.